What's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about those "We Buy Houses" signs. Those ugly signs that you see on the side of the road in pretty much every major city. So the way they work, these are often marketing strategies used by beginner real estate investors. So bandit signs, the "We Buy Houses" signs, sometimes they're handwritten, sometimes they're printed. But either way, they're very, very cheap, very affordable for a newer real estate investor. So the idea is that the real estate investor would put these signs up in a highly trafficked area, and then a certain percentage of the people driving by or walking by will see that sign and call that number and potentially get an offer on their property. Now, I found personally with bandit signs, for that strategy to work, you need to be very strategic about your signs, and you need to put up a lot of signs. And obviously, they're not the most glamorous thing in the world, so a lot of times you need to check with your city and your county to make sure that you won't get fined. Because there's a lot of investors that kind of went overboard with this strategy and might put up like 500 bandit signs in 1 month and basically like litter the city with them. So you have to be very strategic when you put them up. And you should think of this strategy almost like a political campaign. In fact, people that do the political campaigns, I think they might make the best real estate investors because they have so many different marketing channels and they go like all out. They work like 7 days a week and they'll put up the bandit signs. They'll also have, direct mail going out. Maybe they'll do networking, talk to different groups of people, things like that. Then they'll have the online marketing. So honestly, if you want to put up bandit signs, talk to some political campaign managers. They could probably give you some great ideas. And a couple more tips with them. If you're going to put them up, you need to make sure you put like not your cell phone on there because you will get a lot of people calling you. And because of how cheap and just right out in the open that these signs are, you're going to get a lot of leads, but they're not always going to be the best leads. So with bandit signs, you might have to get like 10 or even 20 leads for you to get like one really, really good lead. And that's not to say it doesn't work, but just keep in mind, you're looking for quantity really. And a couple things you can do, like the top investors that I know that use bandit signs, and most, the way I see it, this is mostly a newer investor strategy. And if you're a newer investor, it's great because it's inexpensive, it's easy to do, and you will get leads from it. But the top investors that use this strategy, they're a little bit more strategic. So they might go on like Google Maps and like map out, say 25 areas around the city where there's a lot of traffic, where these signs, might be a good place. And then they'll drive the route, once or twice just to see how long it takes. And then they'll outsource that process. So as a real estate investor, you eventually want to think about outsourcing, different parts of your marketing. So you're not spending a couple hours, driving all around town. So that's one strategy. And you can also partner with other companies. There's plenty of companies that put up bandit signs. I mean, you might see bandit signs in like pretty much every industry. I see it with fitness, politics, obviously, and, We Buy Gold, places like that. So you might set up a partnership where, hey, maybe you guys split the cost on somebody putting up signs. Maybe they put up both signs. They have the We Buy Gold signs and the We Buy Houses signs. And I could save you some money right there. So overall, the We Buy Houses signs, it's a marketing strategy used by newer investors. They'll put up enough signs, they'll get phone calls, and then they're looking for motivated sellers that are just looking to sell their house fast, quickly, not pay a real estate agent, and ideally get a good deal from them. And I don't use this strategy just because I prefer like direct mail and online marketing, but I know plenty of investors that have used this strategy very successfully. The thing you need to remember is you just need to put out a lot of signs, you need to be strategic and ideally outsource it, and then obviously you need to make sure it's not illegal in your area. So there you have it. Hopefully you learned something about those bandit signs, those ugly We Buy Houses signs. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.